But we have a lot to tell you about politically tonight, things that you have not heard. Number one, Friday. Whenever the federal government announces something on Friday, it means they really don't want a wide distribution. So Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, comes out last Friday and says he's appointing a special prosecutor to investigate Donald Trump on two things: January 6th and the classified documents that showed up in Mar-a-Lago. Okay, I don't know why they had to release that on a Friday, late Friday, but got enough attention. You know about it, I'm sure. And there's a lot more to this, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. First of all, the special prosecutor is a man named Jack Smith. He is currently working in The Hague in the Netherlands, investigating war criminals overseas. I don't know much about him. Conservatives are giving him a hard time about Lois Lerner, things like that. I don't know. I'll find out, but I assume this guy is competent. I assume he's a John Durham type, but I don't know. But anyway, he's in charge, right? Now, so Garland does this knowing that there are going to be unintended consequences. So Garland doesn't want to be part of those, but he is. So he could have kept the case in January 6th. In particular, all the January 6th committee had to do is hand over what they have to Garland, and then FBI goes through it and says, hey, is there anything indictable? That's all he had to do. But he didn't. Remember, the January 6th committee in the House operated for 18 months. 18 months. Leaked everything. Convicted, condemned Donald Trump. So now we need another year on top of that? I don't know why. The Mar-a-Lago documents thing, if you got something, it's not hard. Show the American people what the documents are that Trump took and why they are important enough to make such a big deal out of it. That should take 2 minutes. FBI knows what they took. Garland knows what they have. No, we got to have another special prosecutor and another $30 million investigation. And, oh, yeah, we got to do it. Makes no sense at all. But here's the kicker. And I think Merrick Garland is not smart enough to understand what he did. In order to investigate Donald Trump's actions on or before January 6th that led to the riot at the Capitol, okay, you have to bring in the FBI. Because it's now been established by none other than the New York Times and other press that at least 8 informants were in D.C. as part of that mob. Okay? So Christopher Wray, the director of the FBI, is asked about this on November 15th by Congressman Clay Higgins. Go.
Did you have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters inside the Capitol on January the 6th prior to the doors being open?
Again, I had to be very careful.
It should be a no. Can you not tell the American people, no, we did not have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters positioned inside the Capitol?
Gentleman's time has expired.
You should not read anything into my decision not to share information.
Director Wray.
He's right. I mean, the Congress is right. If it's no, you just say no. But it isn't no. So now, Jack Smith, the special prosecutor, has to get into that. Does Garland understand that if it's shown, that if evidence says the FBI knew about this incursion before it happened and didn't tell anybody, or actually encouraged it, that blows up the Justice Department. Blows up the whole department. So, yeah, Donald Trump, you can investigate him. We all know the story. He acted far too slowly to condemn the riot. There's no doubt that's true. Is that a crime? No. And it's on the record the day before he had a meeting with the Pentagon that he recommended bringing the National Guard in. That creates reasonable doubt on his intentions on January 6th. Those are in stone, those two things. They're not debatable issues. But the FBI being involved in the actual mob, with the actual mob, that's new. And Wray would not say. And there's no reason on earth for him. If the FBI didn't have anybody there, he goes, no, we didn't have anybody there. Does it compromise anything? Does it? What does it compromise? No, we didn't have anybody there? Doesn't compromise anything. So you got to assume, based on that and the reportage on other press people, they did have people there, the FBI. So now those people are going to have to be part of the investigation into Trump. Have to be. Did you tell the Trump administration, anybody, that this could happen beforehand? Those are the questions that have to be asked of the FBI. I'm telling you, Garland made a huge mistake, enormous mistake, by outcropping this. He didn't have to do it. He did it. And now the Democratic apparatus, the Biden administration, is in trouble. And that's not the worst thing. So the backlash from this Trump move is going to now encourage House Republicans to investigate Joe Biden and Hunter. So you're going to have dueling investigations. You're going to have the Justice Department on Trump. You're going to have the House committees on Joe and Hunter. And you know there's no presumption of innocence in this country. So you hate Trump, you think he's guilty. You hate Biden, you think he's guilty. So leaks will be every day. Leaks from the committees in the House, leaks from the special prosecutor's investigation. Every day. You're going to get leak, dueling leaks. Now, the Biden administration will collapse, and I use that word literally, if the House committee can find that Hunter Biden gave money to his father while Joe Biden was vice president. If that can be established, that collapses the entire administration, because Joe Biden did not put that money on his tax return. That's a felony. Felony. You can only give $12,000 to someone else as a gift without a tax penalty. So I'm telling you, this story is enormous. The implications are through the roof on both sides. It's going to be an interesting year, and it will affect the 2024 election. Who runs, all of that. But we're going to cover this fairly. We do give presumption of innocence to both Trump and Biden. That's what we give. And if they have evidence, we'll present it to you, and I will give you my opinion whether it's solid or not. But, oh my God, when I saw that Friday, I went, Merrick Garland's crazy. He has now lost control of the entire process. At least if he were in charge of the investigation himself, he could come to some kind of rational conclusion. He can't now.